I go by the name Lightwater. This is WILCO, Samuel WILCO. The group is Lightwater and WILCO. Our name, my name, which is part of our name, is based on the idea that water represents flow. In hip hop and in rapping, flow is an important concept for vocals. So the water represents the flow, and the light represents sort of my walk in faith, my purpose nowadays with my music. So Lightwater stands for flow on shine.
And Sam WILCO, that's the full version of my part of the name. Samuel is my first name, really, and I got that from my dad. But he got it because he was named after Samuel in the Bible. And in the Bible, Samuel was called by God 3 times as a little boy before he became a prophet. The WILCO section is from the Army. It means will comply. It's stuff that we say over the radio. And so I feel like God is calling me to do something great with the music, my voice, whatever he wants me to do in my life. So if he's calling me, then my name is my answer. Samuel will comply.
I was born and raised, Texas state of mind, torn from the page, layered in the rhyme. Peace received, calm beat, take shape, find our peace, bang until it breaks.
I was raised up off a lot of vinyl. My father's a vinyl collection, so lots of classic rock, Led Zeppelin, Rolling Stone, Beatles, as well as for my own musical taste, developed early 90s golden age of hip hop, and then started participating in the hip hop culture itself, and started rapping, started making music, started wanting to be a part of the scene.
I think for me, the music that inspired me would be, I grew up in the church, so I've always been around gospel music, but I think what that did was give me the soulfulness that's in my voice. But the actual music styles that I just like really gravitated towards was like R&B, like early 90s R&B. I also really like 80s rock. So it's like a blend of those two things. And since I met my wife, country just kind of crept in there a little bit. So it's a little bit of all of that.
The greatest compliment anyone could tell me about my music would be, they heard something that I wrote, they heard something that I said, and they saw a reflection of themselves in that. So much of my writing is not only about myself, but can always have double meaning. So if someone can hear those words and find a bit of themselves in it, and that experience, that's huge, that's impact, that's purpose right there.
I think for me, Justin is an example of the best compliment I could get from my music. It's all right. We do what we do because we really want to see people's lives change, you know? And so my first interaction with Justin was like a setup by his wife, really. So she felt like with his love of music and my love of music, and then she knew how it felt about God, if she could get us together, that it might have an impact on him. And so the greatest compliment that anybody I could ever get from anybody is that listening to your music made me investigate a relationship with God. And now I have been transformed because of that. And so he's an example of the greatest compliment I could ever get.
Absolutely. My father is an artist. He encouraged creativity in our family for my sister and I. My mother, very supportive in that endeavor. My wife and my kids also. I mean, every single member of my family has supported this journey from the jump, and I couldn't be more blessed.
I think it is really hard for me also, if I could say, to pick one person. If it was one person, it would be my wife, but I definitely would like to highlight Justin's wife as well, because the reality is there would be no Lightwater and WILCO if she did not have that if she didn't have that urging to put us together. But even in that between time before we came to be, my wife, if it hadn't been for my wife pushing me to do some of the things that she encouraged me to do, I don't know if there would be a Samuel WILCO. I started Samuel WILCO around the time with Justin, but I really don't know if we would be at this point if it had not been for my wife and her speaking into my life. So the two of our wives together literally created us. So
I find myself in a unique position to look back at some folks like that who are maybe not into the quote unquote Jesus thing and be like, hey, I know who you are. You're me. I was standing in your shoes not too long ago. And if you can see me and recognize that I can make that move, then you can make that move too.